If I could be God for just one day, I would take the heart of man and mold it like clay. I would find love inside and shine it through the day. I would take hatred and throw it away. I'd fix this world so love rule the day. I'd write the story in a different way. I would heal, nourish and provide. I'd lead my children. I'd be their guide. If I could be God for just one day, I'd reveal the secret of life without delay. Every soul and every heart would soar ever free, knowing that their life will span for all eternity. If I could, I wish I could make it this way. If I could be gone for just one Shalom, I am Rabbi Shaul Praver. You're watching Rabbi Rock. Just last week I opened up the Jewish newspaper and I saw that our friend, Mr. Charles Bronfman, has initiated a challenge. And the challenge is for a person to find the next great idea for the Jewish community. And he compared it to the last one would be Birthright Israel, being the last great idea. Birthright Israel is a program where every Jewish child is given a free trip to Israel. You've seen different people here talking about the fabulous time that they had in Israel and how it strengthened their identity in Judaism and really brought their Jewish life alive. And now Mr. Bronfman is looking for another great idea. And having spoken extensively with Andree Brooks, our guest today, in previous shows, about the conversos, otherwise known as the B'nai Anusim. These are the millions of people that live in Central and South America that come from Jewish lineage. They come through the period of the Inquisition. And our great idea is to reach out to the B'nai Anusim and let them join the ranks of the Jewish people. And that's what we're going to talk about today and the issues surrounding that whole proposition. So with no further ado, I welcome once again our good friend, Andree Brooks.
Hi.
Now,
Nice to be back.
It's great to have you. I'll just remind the audience that you wrote for the New York Times for about 18 years. You are an award-winning author of many books, and you lecture on a variety of subjects. And this particular subject of the B'nai Anusim is a subject that you have researched extensively. And when I use the word extensive, you got to see the the footnotes or the introduction or the foreword, whatever you call it, in her books, which shows very extensive research of the material that she writes about. So with that little intro, I figure we'd just launch into this idea. Now, we have the Bagel people, the Ashkenazim. We have the Pita people, the Sephardim. But there's another kind of people, isn't there? That would be perhaps the tortilla people.
Or I call them the tortilla people, but you have to also call them the Sephardim in the Spanish sense. These are the people who were the earliest European settlers in Central and South America when Spain and Portugal claimed those countries for themselves. Mm-hmm. And they were giving the Jews a very hard time in Spain and Portugal and forcing a lot of them to convert. In order to stay, they had to convert. And then along came the Inquisition, and the Inquisition kept claiming they weren't sincere Catholics, and they were put in prison, and they were tortured, and so on and so forth, which we've heard about. In order to escape some of that and take part in some of the opportunities in the colonies, hundreds of thousands of them shifted gears and went over to Central and South America. Mm-hmm. And over the centuries, though at the time most of them could not publicly say they were of Jewish stock, they were very conscious of it, and they tried not to lose it. That's not all of them, but a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And over the centuries, they handed down from generation to generation the legend or the story or the identity that they wanted their children and grandchildren to know. We were Jews, and one day we will be Jews again. And 15 or 20 years later, ago, I'm not saying later, yes. in now, there has been a growing movement among the contemporary generations to come back to Judaism. Mm-hmm. But the problem is that the Jewish world doesn't seem to be ready for them.
Yes, yes. Now, this is Ladino, the language, the partially Spanish.
Well, Ladino was what? No, they wouldn't have spoken Ladino. They would have spoken Spanish or Portuguese.
Okay, but later on when they came to other countries, what's the origins of the Ladino?
The Ladino was what they took to the Ottoman Empire when they went east. Okay. But those that came to the New World tend to speak a strict Portuguese or Spanish.
Oh, I see. So the Ladino really comes from the Arabic. This is a language that was spoken in the Arabic language by
the in the Muslim countries, let's say in the Muslim countries, yes.
Okay.